Doug Collins has decided to step away from ESPN and go to the Chicago Bulls as an advisor. I really like this move for Doug Collins more than I like it for anybody else. I just think Doug Collins deserves the type of role that he needs, and I think this is the type of role that he needs. I don't think he needs to stay on ESPN with Sage Steele and all, Jalen Rose, and just joke about things. Doug Collins has a very bright mind, and I think Doug Collins deserves more in his career rather than to sit there and, talk nonsense with those guys, obviously, I don't really like him that much, Paul Pierce is great and everything, all the former players, but I just don't like the Jalen Rose, Sage Steele combination. And Doug Collins in there. Doug Collins is just force-fitted because he was a former coach, and ESPN keeps firing everybody, so they have to put him in there. I don't like what ESPN's doing right now. Just personally, it's not working. Like, they put that ESPN Deportes guy in the other day, and he was like, oh, and that play was so good, and it was ridiculous. This is bad. I think the good part about this, though, is that the Bulls now, because they have young players, Doug Collins is a good, he used to coach the 76ers. Like, when he coached the 76ers were really good that one year with Spencer Hawes and Andre Iguodala, I'm pretty sure, and that Drew Holiday, and all of these, all the players with their peak. I think they pushed the Celtics to 7 the year the Celtics won the championship. Last year they went to the playoffs, and they kind of blew it up. The process. They blew it up, and then the process started. Sam Hinkie got fired, but Sam Hinkie built that whole team in Philadelphia. Doug Collins got fired, and then went on to ESPN, obviously. But Doug Collins is a good NBA mind. I just with the Bulls, just as an advisor. Steve Nash is an advisor, so maybe he helps the Bulls. The Bulls are kind of in the middle of a rebuild right now as well. Lowry marking in. They got rid of Jimmy Butler. Not sure why they did that. Probably because front office is terrible. Trade him to the Timberwolves, but front office was just bad up there, and Chicago just wanted to start over. They were like, all right, let's start over. So we'll see what Chicago does. Chicago probably be a plank year for them. Probably could go for Michael Porter Jr. I heard Lowry Marketing was injured or something. I think Doug Collins will give good advice, but the Bulls, they're just not in that position where they can say oh, we're a solid, decent team. They stink. They stink really, really bad. And it's you want to feel bad for them, but at the same time, you don't want to feel bad because it's kind of self-inflicted, right? It's oh, I feel bad, but it's kind of your fault. So, yeah, they did play. They had Nate Robinson as point guard at one point, and they were playing really well with Nate Robinson running the point. And I think they should have kept that going because Nate Robinson is a good point guard. And that's just waste. They wasted all the talent that they had remaining. So now, what are they gonna do? They got rid of Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade's probably gonna do a buyout. Dwayne Wade's probably most likely to hit Cleveland or the Lakers. I heard. Lakers is a good destination. I heard for him. They probably because it's good down here. I heard a rumor that Dwayne Wade and LeBron might come to LA, but that's absolutely crazy. Can't wait for 2018 free agency. I just don't see anyone going to the Bulls for free agency, so I just don't see the Bulls improving as a team. It's if they get young talent, they get young talent, and they traded, and how they got Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne sucks. I think they got Cameron. Yeah, they did get Cameron Payne. The Cameron Payne sucks. He can't do anything. I heard that he can't even run a play. As an NBA player, he's a bust. I've actually seen Cameron Payne in person. When I saw him, I knew he was trash. Trash player. But he's... I don't know what the problem is with him. I think it's just his size, or maybe he just thinks he's too cocky, but... Hey, at least they'll have good dance formations on that team this year. He'll be dancing next to the cheerleaders. The Bulls are such a joke this year. Jesus Christ. I don't even know how they became this much of a joke. They were actually progressing, and then they just went into a rebuild. So, hey, at least Doug Collins will be giving them some good advice, Doug Collins, I think he's very bright. I think he was a good hiring. I don't know if this really changes much for the team, though. They suck, Still in a rebuild, so maybe we just have to give them a couple of years. Maybe they'll have a Lakers rebuild, or maybe they'll have a Celtics rebuild where they rebuild really, really fast. It's gonna be weird to see the Bulls, Michael Jordan's team, not competing, but it would take a couple years. A good signing for them. Keeping Doug Collins on. So we'll see. Bulls in an interesting position right now. But that's good. That's